So, thank you very much for all your kind messages welcoming me back. It's great to be back. I've gone ahead and created this little guy for you. Hasn't got a name yet. If you've got any ideas for names, please post them down below. For now, he's just known as Ball version 3, and you're able to download it from the description down below. Let's just take a quick look at him. He's very similar to the last rig. He's still got squash and stretch on him. Very basic FK tail rig and FK ears. So we're going to be talking today about follow through in animation. Now, follow through can apply to any extremity on a character. It's such as tails, hair, long ears and arms, and to some extent, the chest area of the character as well, and the head. So the idea is that when a character hits a pose or comes to a stop, not everything arrives at the same time. Okay, and this is really dependent on the action of the character and the properties of the extremity, its weight and its flexibility, to some degree air resistance, and to some degree style and consistency with the rest of the show that you're producing. So we're going to go ahead and look at this little dude coming to a stop here. So let's take a look at this animation I've just quickly roughed in as an example. So at the moment I've just animated the main core of the character is coming forward into a stop. So what we're going to do is have a look at these extremities. So we're going to start off with this ear here. I'm going to try and work out how this would actually move. So we're going to assume this is off the tail end of another animation. So they would already be back in this position here as he's moving forward. Okay, so as he approaches the stop, at this point they would still be back, and then they would come forward afterwards. Okay, they would follow through after the main core has landed. Okay, and then they would come to a settle. So we're just going to rough in these keys of it coming into a settle. So gradually getting smaller and smaller, like so. Okay, so we can push this even further, sort of down the hierarchy. So if we select these ones here and we delay these even further, so on this in between here, just rotate them further back and then just delay them even more throughout. Okay, and we're going to select even further down the hierarchy, so the last three. We're going to do the same thing. So during this in between here, we're just going to rotate them back. You see we're starting to get this S shape happening. Okay, and once you start seeing this, you're on the right track. Okay, so we're going to delay these even more. I'm just going to drag a couple of frames along for the last bit. Okay, and we're going to go to the last two and do exactly the same thing. Just push them ever so slightly more. And just delay them. Okay, so when I play this now, you see we get a nice overlap happening. Okay, they feel like real ears now. So as I said before, it all depends on what the action of the character is. So in this example, I've sped up the forward motion. So therefore, the ears are going to come forward even more and be even more exaggerated. So I'm just going to play at full speed. So you see they shoot forward a lot more. Now if it was going slower, then it would be more subtle. So it's all about gauging what this core is doing and then adjusting your animation appropriately. So I'd like to show you another example. So I've roughed in this turn-in animation here. So we're going to go ahead, clean this up and add some follow through and some overlap to the ears and stuff. So first thing we're going to do is add a bit of squash and stretch. Okay, so I'm going to have him stretch up at this point as he anticipates. As he comes round, I'm going to have him squash down and up and down, and then just add a couple more frames at the end as settle, like so. Okay, so we're also going to add an arc to this. So see, there's almost like an arc happening at the moment. Now we've added the squash and strip. I'm just going to exaggerate that a bit just by rotating down during the here for this in between, like so. Okay, right, so let's go ahead and add some motion to these ears and try and work out how they should move. So we're going to start off with initial keyframe at this point. Okay, now as he turns, the ear is going to get left behind, isn't it? So as he hits, the ear will follow through afterwards. So if he hits about 22, I'd say, on the rotation. So we're going to have his ear come round and then come to a settle, like so. Okay, we're going to do the same with the other one. Okay, so here is the basic keyframes of the ears. So what we're going to do is go in and add some offsets to this now. So we're going to select these bottom four here, and we're going to start in-betweening this and delaying. Okay, so similar to what we did in the last one, just going to offset it by a couple of frames, like so, and move down the hierarchy. So this is mostly about feeling out the animation, trying to figure out what feels right. And the more you do it, the easier it will be. So this is why I suggest practicing lots with this little guy. Just have him do little motions here and there. Just simple stuff, and just try and work out what his ears should be doing. It will help you so much. Okay, so that is looking pretty good now. So here's the final result after some tweaking. So I'd just like to just run through this in slow motion. Just have a look at this ear here. Okay, so as the character turns, the ear lags behind. When he stops, it then catches up and follows through. Now, a couple of key things here are, the further down the hierarchy it is, the more extreme it will be. Okay, so the more rotation you will add for these lower down bits. The top bits, they basically move with the head. So the further away from the core, the more extreme it gets. Okay, one last example I'd like to show you is an example of a looping animation. Okay, so we're going to have a look at this tail here. And what we're going to do is have a looping animation of this tail wagging. Okay, so what we're going to do is start off with our C shapes first of all. So we're going to grab all of the controllers and rotate them. Okay, and at 30, I'm going to have the reverse C shape here, and then I'm just going to copy and paste the last frame at the end. Okay, so we're going to have a looping animation like this. Now, this just looks wrong, doesn't it? Because we're not applying what we've learnt so far. So what we're going to do is open up our graph editor and bring up all the curves here. Then what we're going to do is select all of our curves here and go up to curves, and we're going to cycle it post infinity and pre infinity. Okay, and then we're going to start offsetting these. So we're going to move our way down the hierarchy. So we're going to select all of these and just shift them along by 3 or 4 frames. Then we're going to select further down still, and then the last 2, and then the last one. So there's a staggered offset on this now. Okay, so if we scrub through it, you'll see it's starting to look a bit more tail-like. Now we're going to apply what we learnt for the last bit. So the further away from the core, the more movement is needed. So we're going to select, say, this one here, and I'm going to select all of the keys here. I'm going to press R, then we're going to hold Shift and middle mouse button. This gives us the ability to scale these keys. Okay, so we're able to add more motion like so. So we're going to move our way down to the second controller from the end and do exactly the same thing. Just increase that motion, and then the very last one, we're going to do the same thing. So if we play it now, you'll see we have a very nice looping tail animation. So guys, that's the end of lesson 3 in this beginner's course. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe, and make sure you click on the bell icon to be notified of future videos. In the next video, we're going to be looking at anticipation and digging a bit deeper into the graph editor and how it works. So I hope to see you guys then, and thanks for watching.